I'd like to thank Julie Wilkie for coming up and sharing that a lot of the other avenues of service for people with disabilities over and above LIFT are very limited funded, and they're really not quite as good as the picture that sometimes is painted for the board. Jan Campbell, we all know, we've talked about these fare increases, etc. And one of the things that she brought up is options. And that's what I'm hoping this board will look at, besides the other points that have been brought to you. People with disabilities do not have a lot of options. And I'm mostly referring to people with disabilities that are LIFT eligible, that use the LIFT service. The majority, obviously, do not drive, don't own cars, can't ride a bicycle. The other services that you keep hearing about are extremely limited. They do not replace your mandate to deliver paratransit service. And if you price people off of LIFT service, which you've been hearing these increases are going to do, also, if you do the cuts service that TRIMET management has been bringing up, you're going to cause people to lose their jobs, not go to church, etc., etc., etc. And I don't want to, as important as what I just said, I don't want to skip over some important facts that I'd actually prepared to share with you. One on the news last night, I think it's wonderful that TRIMET is finally doing some fare evasion stings, if you will. And they've collected, I believe, close to $700,000 in the last 5 months because of the enforcement. The thing that bothers me, back when I was vice chair of CAT, we asked TRIMET to do the same thing about 5 years ago. Can you imagine how much money could have collected if you would have listened to your own Citizens Advisory Committee 5 years ago? We were told, no, there's no way that we could justify the expense. We would not be looking at these types of proposals for these huge increases if TRIMET would have been collecting fares all along. I sat at one of these testimony tables, opened up my wallet, and peeled off 6 monthly passes that were never looked at by an operator. We talked about fare evasion a long time ago. There's a PCOD commissioner who's in the audience is going to get up and talk. I'm not going to steal all his thunder. He's talked about alternative fuels. You know, TRIMET's turned their buses into NASCARs instead of alternative fuels. There was a program on the news, the national news, not too long ago, talking about those transit entities that have gone to alternative fuels are saving $1 a gallon. Why isn't TRIMET doing this? Smoke and mirrors. And then I'll shut up, but please let me continue on this one. In July, we were looking at 30 cents increase right off the bat. We were looking at, by 2015, $3 a ride each way for LIFT paratransit service. The new proposals, which is why I keep saying smoke and mirrors, now only go to 2013, stopping at $2.45. But at the board retreat, staff was very clear that they plan to have fixed route fares up to $3 by 2015. And the proposals are that the LIFT fares would be the same as fixed route by 2015. So folks, what are we looking at? We're looking at the same 30 cents now, more increases, and ending up at $3 in 2015. Neil McFarland was at the CAT meeting last month, and actually, the way he spoke, at least my interpretation, is there's no guarantee it's going to stop at $3. So you all, we thought anyway, We're trying to help us be able to afford to continue using lift service. When you asked for an extension on the vote in July, Rick Van Beeberen, Rick, you yourself came to me and said, Mike, there would be a substantial decrease in these proposals. Folks, we're looking at the same proposals. Nothing's changed other than smoke and mirrors. It's presented differently. It's got a different bow on it. It's the same thing. Thank you.
Good luck.